Nothing comes easy in Athletes Unlimited, but sometimes the best things are free. Erica Evans ran wild Thursday. She had the magic goal-scoring touch off the bench to support her captain in the cage, Taylor Marino, who must find ways to stop Sam Apuzzo, the three-time AU medalist who roared 5 times in a super sudden victory. Longtime rivals clash once more with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on ESPN. Lights, camera, action. We're open for business at USA Lacrosse HQ. The final weekend of Season 4 with Athletes Unlimited fast upon us. Aye, aye, Captain. Today, the team led by Taylor Marino goes up against the squad assembled by Sam Apuzzo. If this is your first go-round with AU Pro Lacrosse, where have you been? 56 of the best in the world are here. We've shuffled through teams of 14 with a captain's draft. The scoring is intense and very unique as the schedule demands excellence and endurance. So we can set the table as of right now in the top 4. In 4th, a 2-time medalist in the cage. In 3rd, Allie chases her first ever medal. Then there's the constant medal threat, Sam Apuzzo in 2nd. Charlotte North, on the strength of an OT win in the opener today, is clinging to the top spot. Look at the top 10, find your favorites. North, Apuzzo, Kennedy, and Glynn. Glynn leapfrogging fellow keeper Taylor Marino. The 2-time defending champion finds herself in 5th. Mastriani is a threat. Trust me, the top 4 by close of business tomorrow will medal. A very pleasant welcome to you, along with Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. I'm Joe Beninati. We will make way for our field reporter, Kylie Ohlmiller, in just a few moments. Court, this is usually a late Sunday afternoon matchup, Marino and Apuzzo. Will they continue to bring the best out of each other?
You know, absolutely. These two are competitors, except the roles are reversed. Usually we find Taylor Marino in the lead with Sam trying to play catch-up, and oftentimes Sam just holds on for it. Now with her being in the opposite position, I'm curious, is she going to come up with even more saves and come up with that big win over Sam? Because generally, Sam is nipping at the heels.
The NCAA's all-time point-scoring leader is our field reporter, Kylie Ohlmiller. You know that these two captains are seasoned veterans. How have you seen their games evolve?
Taylor has been as patient as ever in the cage this season, and you can always count on Sam Apuzzo to score a big goal. But the way that I think that they've evolved is by having experience at the captain's draft every week. They're really drafting teams with players with whom they really, really trust in big moments.
When we put this clash under the microscope, guys, Courtney, the 2-time defending champ, Marino, she's got a lot of catching up to do.
She does, but she is the defensive quarterback in every sense of the word. She stands her ground to make point-blank saves. Taylor's always laser focused on the ball, which is most important thing. She stays calm, makes the save, patience is key, and the wins will come.
Kylie, if Erica Evans can repeat her Thursday performance, then Marino's in line for a medal.
Yeah, Erica Evans had herself a day on Thursday. She's a player that can provide a spark when her team needs it most. She's strong from that left side, really reads the off-ball seams well to get herself open on the cut, and her finishes are second to none.
As for Team Apuzzo, Courtney, I say this every season, Allie Mastriani is as well-rounded a lacrosse player as you will find.
You know, Allie makes big plays in big moments, but oftentimes it's the simple things as well, whether it's coming up with the ground ball, hustling after a draw control. She makes it look effortless with her athleticism and her fluid dodging movements to goal.
Kylie, when it comes to Sam Apuzzo, she's seeing a very familiar point of view now, 2nd on the leaderboard.
Every little play matters for Sam when she's out there. And the way she still thrives when she's seeing tough attention from the defense is what makes her such an elite attacker. She's the kind of player that if this game goes to overtime, you can almost guarantee she'll be the one to send it home.
Earlier today, Team North downing Team Kennedy in a shootout as Apuzzo gets ready to roam in this one. We have a chance to go amid action with Caroline Wakefield. Hey, 23, I know this is a question where you have very good familiarity with Taylor Marino as a captain, but compare and contrast these two in their captain's approach.
It looks a little different for both of them. One's an attacker. She gets to lead her team on the offensive end, and Taylor's in the back of the net. So it just looks a little different. She's leading from behind. She's communicating. But look, they're both really great competitors, and I'm super excited to get going today.
Caroline, we appreciate it. This is where the best rise to the top. We'll be checking with you throughout the game today. Team Marino in the blue. Team Apuzzo in the white gold.
Joe, did you see the little laughing between Apuzzo and Wakefield? You set her up a little bit. Apuzzo was right there waiting and listening for that answer.
That's fine. She's got familiarity with both. We're off and running. The original draw control belongs to Team Marino in the blue. This Team Marino squad lost to Team North back on Thursday. Tight games in this, the final weekend of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on ESPN. Glad to have you with us. 6-on-6 at the offensive end, 10-on-10 total. Sydney Black, one of the league's assist leaders, feeds, Weeks fires, and we could have an early walling call here. Bringing it in off the end line, number 9 in the blue, Katie O'Donnell. O'Donnell, one of the league leaders in shooting percentage this summer. Sammy Jo Tracy turns, gets topside. That pass is too high. There's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Right now it's at 9. Black, who played collegiately nearby at Loyola, an outstanding scholar athlete, feeds, goes unanswered, shot clock violation against Team Marino.
You know, great job of defense for Team Apuzzo. They were shutting down any dodging or passing lane.
Arsenault all the way, she scores.
And this is the epitome of translating some great defensive work into an offensive goal. Off of that restart, it wasn't starting close to the cage, it was all the way out at midfield. So that was another advantage for Team Apuzzo. And Dempsey Arsenault, you just see her striding. All she took was a simple move from right to left, explosive, nothing fancy, but still getting the job done.
I'd like to know how many of Dempsey Arsenault's goals are actually in her weak hand, her left hand. She really dodges strong to that left side, and I think it catches defense a little bit off guard because they're guarding her as if she's going to dodge to her right hand.
Dempsey gets into double figures in goals this summer. She has tallies in each of her last 8 straight games. Needing some attention now over on the sideline from the athletic trainers. 1-0 early, 1:18 the time of the tally for Dempsey Arsenault, who said she would be a country music singer in a dream life. So many of you guys want the microphone and sing. Geyersbach wants to be a Broadway actor. It's all about the singing and the projection.
It is. We're actually going to see a yellow card come out for Sammy Jo Tracy of Team Marino. A hard cross-check. The referees are making a statement here early on with some early whistles, hard fouls. They're not going to tolerate in this game. As we take another look, we see that cross-check. Referees are saying, nope, unnecessary. You're going to take a seat.
Player up here for Team Apuzzo. Sammy Jo's in the sin bin for a moment. We're just getting going in the second of the 2 games today. Earlier a thriller. Apuzzo off the hitch. Team North prevailing in a shootout, downing Team Kennedy and vaulting Charlotte to the top spot on the leaderboard. You'll be seeing the leaderboard throughout the day. Find your favorites. Top 4 at the end of game 24 are medalists tomorrow. Taylor Marino guarding the goal for the team dressed in blue is a 2-time reigning champ. Knowles, who's really picked up her point production from the defense lately. She's got 3 assists and a goal this summer. Spots Katie O'Donnell, currently the head coach at Drexel in the Philadelphia area. Sydney Black with it. She received the D1 Lax Coaches Scholar Athlete of the Year award last week. Congratulations to 15 in the blue. It's been a fine freshman year for her here in AU Pro Lacrosse. Erica Evans off of a 4-goal performance, wanders in, spins it for Black at the 8-meter key. Gets inside, bouncer on the way, and a nice shuffle over there. Solid stop from Waters to begin her day. Spillis. Long strider ahead. Choma going to the goal with a bouncer. Backed up on the end line there by Geyersbach. 36 in the white gold. Set it up for Captain Sam. 3 times a medalist, seeking her first ever gold. Geyersbach, who grew up with Apuzzo on the same block back home on Long Island. Feed it inside. Capturing it there, it's Arsenault. Exchanging with her best friend there, Apuzzo on the go. 15 to shoot. Sam fires and scores!
A lot of patience for the team in white. Sam Apuzzo offensively. You're gonna see a defensive miscue. So they were trying to get the matchup switched back to Caroline Wakefield. Katie O'Donnell was on ball. A little pick action came. She was looking for Burns to cover her off of the switch. Nobody really moved, so Sam Apuzzo wound up, took a shot. Again, you can't afford her any room.
I like that patience by Sam Apuzzo. She could have seen that little slough off by the defense immediately and immediately released the shot, but she took an extra second to see the cage and make sure it went.
A and A. Arsenault and Apuzzo back to back. Sam Apuzzo with points in all 50 games in her Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse career. She's only been held without a goal 3 times. That won't be happening today. It's 2-0 early. Off the flip, Apuzzo gaining ground on North. Kennedy and Glynn. Katie Glynn's twice a medalist. She's in the running again. A very strong effort with 14 stops in a shootout win. O'Donnell fires and scores. Right back at you.
Katie O'Donnell is one of those midfielders who's just a spark all over the field. We see her dodge, hesitate, wait for the lane to be cleared, and that back and forth movement, she's kind of lulling Meg Dowdy to sleep. She's waiting to get that extra little step, the overplay. Meg Dowdy not breaking down her feet well, so that's when Katie O'Donnell exploded to the right-hand side.
And Katie O'Donnell on ball, doing a good job to get Meg Dowdy moving, like you said, Court, but that backside movement off ball from the rest of the offense, that's exactly what kept that lane really open for KO.
Couple of Tar Heels inside the draw circle. Mastriani and Sammy Jo Tracy. Allie pops this one high. Lost it off the top of her cross. O'Donnell, who had a 9-game goal-scoring streak upended back on Thursday, wastes no time today getting the first goal on the board for Team Marino in blue. There are 20 points available for all 14 players on the roster when you win the quarter in Athletes Unlimited. These players picking up points for the leaderboard tally by their own individual marks and by their team's success. Off the spin, find Black. Black playing the 2-player game there with Megan Kinna. Isabella Peterson sends it back behind the goal. O'Donnell with 24 seconds to shoot. Shaping up against this Team Apuzzo defense, Colson, Dowdy, Bosco, and Donovan. Donovan starting the day on the bench. Face dodge there from Sydney Black, going to the goal. Stick checked, perfectly timed, and back comes Bosco for Team Apuzzo. Sierra Cockrell helping out on the defensive end. Apuzzo finds a late player, move it quickly, Geyersbach! Outstanding on the fast break. (3-1) for Team Apuzzo from the outset. Sam's team looking to push the pace. Running well, passing well, and converting on ESPN.
game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything. It turns an athlete into a legend. It demands respect. The game will always change, but it never will. Gatorade, is it in you?
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is fueled by Gatorade. Today, this Saturday, August the 10th, game number 100 all time in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse history. We're here at USA Lacrosse HQ. Courtney, these are the athletes who've been in perfect attendance for 50 games.
Some big-time veterans there, a lot of Team USA players, and some potential retirees. Maybe you're hearing Geiger and Carr. This could potentially be their last season, but each and every one of them have made their mark on AU Pro Lacrosse.
3 of the first 4 points on the board, Courtney, belonging to Team Apuzzo. The last goal, compliments of Sam Geyer's back, was a pretty fast break operation.
A pretty defensive effort. It was Meg Dowdy with the knockdown, ground ball to Sierra Cockrell, and then Bosco, a ton of green in front of her, pushing the tempo. Apuzzo to Arsenault. Arsenault getting involved in an assist this time. Geyer's back with the finish. That's some pretty tic-tac-toe offense from D to O.
A little bit of showtime, Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse style. More than halfway through this opening quarter, Sam Apuzzo in the chase for the gold medal. Second to last game of the season for these two squads. Team Apuzzo gets Team North tomorrow at 4:30. That'll close the campaign. Team Marino against Team Kennedy at 2 o'clock to start. Once we are complete with the 24-game regular season, the top 4 on the leaderboard will be receiving medals. There's an all-defensive team. We already know who those 4 players are. There's a Defender of the Year honor coming tomorrow, as well as a Teammate of the Year. Erica Evans will tee this up in midfield. Sammy Jo Tracy brings it back along. Sammy Jo having a fine season, and this her 4th as an AU Pro Lacrosse player. 2-player game with Isabella Peterson, who leads the league in shooting percentage. Fires, rippings it off the post. That had Waters beaten. The long ricochet on a shot closest to the ball, Warren, when it leaves the field, gets possession. The officials keep it with Team Marino. Peterson will try it again, dashing inside. She sent that one high. Abby Bosco earns the backup. That's caused turnover points for 55 in the white gold. Bosco, who was the first defender to ever medal in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. She did that last summer.
And that caused turnover. That awards her 10 points to her name. Again, anytime you can run the ball off of a shot and it changes possessions, you are just putting free stuff into your pocket.
Apuzzo directing traffic at the 8-meter key, draws a couple of defenders. Burns stacked her up well, the rookie out of Michigan.
And this time, Caroline Wakefield with the caused turnover. In the game earlier today, we saw countless times that it's not just about scoring goals or making saves. You can get some points on the board to your name on the leaderboard with some caused turnovers, a draw control. Every little thing counts and it adds up.
Wakefield had 3 caused turnovers Thursday. Kinna lost the ball right to the waiting Dempsey Arsenault. Arsenault today will go over 100 ground balls in her career. She spots Lizzie Colson for the clear. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. The 2 goals are 80 yards apart. 2:44 left in the opening frame, 20 points available for the team that wins the quarter. Everybody on your roster gets 20. Right now, that's Team Apuzzo in control, 3-1. Mastriani off the split dodge. Leaves it to Kuykendall, snap the pass quickly. Apuzzo is next. Marked there by Wakefield, two-player game. Apuzzo fires. Marino says, no, you don't, denying that 2-point tally. Clearing time for the rookie in the Team Marino lineup, Cassidy Weeks. Weeks, O'Donnell, Evans out there now. Sammy Joe playing attack. Sammy Joe Tracy gets topside on a member of the all-defensive team this summer. That's Meg Dowdy. Black with plenty of shake and bake. Fires. That's too tall. Shot clock's at 25. Weeks wants it off of a hat-trick performance. Weeks feeds. That was a tough catch for O'Donnell. Waters exiting her goal circle. We hear a whistle. The officials are going to award the ball to Team Apuzzo.
You see the defense of Team Apuzzo. They're ready and waiting to check that ball in case anyone on Team Marino's offense in blue, anytime they're about to catch it, boom, the check is ready and waiting.
Kuykendall serves for Spillis, and around it comes and lands in the cross of Sam Apuzzo, 2 times a 30-goal scorer in her career. Geyers back feeds for Arsenal. Arsenal to Apuzzo with the first 2 to click today. Choma, fast feet. Apuzzo's next. Nice work to the interior. Spillis' shot left-handed goes high. Brought back in off the end line by another lefty. Geyers back for Arsenal. Looking to the interior, Kuykendall with a nifty pass. It went unanswered. Marino's outlet is right on the mark for Knowles. Knowles comes up running, but she forgot something at the midline. Geyers back unsettled, no numbers. They'll settle in here now, 6-on-6.
We've seen defensively that Team Marino is looking to push the fast break quickly. Emily Knowles being one of those defenders to do so, as well as Maddie Burns.
Snapped wide by Spillis. Team Apuzzo close to banking the 20-quarter win points.
You know, I like their idea. It's just a matter of executing.
As this opening frame comes to its end, Team Apuzzo collects the 20 for the quarter win as Sam tries to chase down Charlotte. Charlotte North with another hat trick earlier today. Her team needed a shootout to down Allie Kennedy. Kennedy in third, Katie Glynn, the netminder, victorious earlier today, 14 saves. That'll land you fourth on the leaderboard. Things are changing. Spots are being swapped, and they will continue for the next 24 hours here in Sparks, Maryland. USA Lacrosse headquarters, the home of Arsenal, Apuzzo, and all the great goal scorers. Temperatures in the mid-80s, a beautiful day for Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse action. Team Apuzzo has the 3-1 advantage after 10 minutes over Team Marino. All the athletes have been really cooperative with us this summer, wearing microphones and helping to bring you right into the action with them. Sam Apuzzo among them, the captain for the team in white. We can go into the game right now with her and the U.S. Air Force.
Yes! Let's go! Really nice. That was awesome. That was awesome. Good job. Good job. Quick finish. Yeah, good job. Yeah! So good. Defense, great crash. Let's go, you guys. Hey, way to good defense to good offense. That's awesome.
Plenty of joyful reactions there from Sam Apuzzo. Courtney, just have a peek at what she's done in 4 summers of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. It's mind-boggling.
Oh goodness, just over 6,000 leaderboard points, her win points. You see, that's how she earns a majority as a captain, MVP, over 1,000. Her team recognizes her leadership, her ability on the field by voting her time and time again to be one of those MVP winners.
We've had 9 all-time overtime games. Sam's been involved in 4 of them, won 3 of them, I might add. As a captain, she is 25-9. Pretty impressive. 8 times as a game MVP, 30 times in her career. 30 out of 50 now. Just sick numbers. As we move into the second quarter, these 2 teams each with 1 more game tomorrow, the final day of the season, the summer of 2024. Ali Mastriani working with Arsenault on the exchange for Kuykendall, who has been showing acts of brilliance throughout this summer. Very crafty. Mastriani sent that one way wide. Arsenault will bring it in off the end line. Still 20 seconds to shoot. Geyer's back isolating against Burns. Gets help here. Sweeping Mastriani. 9 seconds to shoot. Apuzzo, face dodge, gets underneath and scores! Sam Apuzzo's second of the day.
You could tell the frustration from Katie O'Donnell, who was on Sam Apuzzo on this last effort. As Ali Mastriani gained possession back for her team after her worm burner shot, a hard pop out by Sam. And we saw the approach from Katie O'Donnell. It was a little bit slow, and then she quickly tried to regain. And when you're going in opposite direction from your attacker, they have the heads up.
That shot right there reminds me of a shot we talked about in the first game today from Izzy Skane, kind of pulling underneath with that face dodge, and as she was fading down that alley, bringing her stick back to the inside, Sam Apuzzo, to find that opposite pipe.
Able to fold it over neatly as we reach the top of the hour here, 5 o'clock hour in the Mid-Atlantic region. Sparks, Maryland's about 20 minutes north of Baltimore. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor upstairs in the booth. Kylie Oldmiller, our field reporter, a couple of seasons of AU Pro Lacrosse under her belt. Leaderboard on the screen. Everybody will be keeping tabs throughout these next couple days. 3 games left, including this one. Top 4 will medal. Colors next to the names, coordinating with the jersey colors they're wearing this weekend. Whoops. Black will find this. Bosco peeking out on her. Early stages of the second. Sammy Jo Tracy lost her footing. Evans rolling in, favors her left, bouncer. No troubles for Waters.
It was still a quick release by Erica Evans. I like to see the snap of the wrist. She's so quick with that. This time it was just right at the feet of Kaylee Waters. If she could put that better placed, I guarantee the next one would fall.
Evans had 5 different 2-goal games before her 4-goal explosion back on Thursday. Same game in which Waters made 11 stops, helping Team Apuzo to an OT decision. Kuykendall works around the screen set by Apuzo. Kristen Carr there. Cookie making sure the rookie doesn't have a lot of room. That pass gets away from Choma, and it's a turnover to Taylor Marino. Caused turnover for the keeper, racing that ball out. Taylor, the two-time defending champ. O'Donnell will breeze back ahead with it. Evans marching to the goal. Pass was on the wrong side for the left-handed Peterson. They dig in along the far sideline, and Team Apuzo takes it away. Already a 4-1 lead, looking to enhance that now in the second quarter. Arsenal glides to the top of the 8-meter key. Geyer's back, going through a controlled 6-on-6. Spillis enters as a sub off the sideline. Facilitator for Team Apuzo is Catherine Conway. Played collegiately at Boston College. So too did Sam Apuzo. Still works there these days. Part of a national championship entry. Kuykendall measured well on the outside. Inside that interior pass, snapped wide of the goal. Tough finish for Spillis. Backed up by Apuzo with 8 seconds to shoot. Beautiful feed, better save by Marino, as she was there to deny Choma. Marino has a couple of stops in the proceedings so far. We're just past the 4-minute mark in the second quarter.
Joe, to continue on with everything having a point value for every save that's made for a keeper, that's a change this year. Previously, it was 5 points last year, the first 2 seasons, +6 in their name. This year, just +4.
A timeout called by Team Marino. Taylor's squad trailing by 3 points, as we will step away from USA Lacrosse headquarters. Taylor Marino once again putting up that wall between the pipes, quick as a cat. This is where the athletes unlock their unlimited potential, inspiring excellence and community. A 4-1 advantage for Team Apuzo as we move towards the midway mark of the second quarter. Folks, be sure to follow along AU Pro Sports on your favorite social media platforms. AU Pro Sports. Stay up to date with all the great content featuring your favorite players, including highlights, mic'd ups, the hot seat, Behind the scenes action and more, search at AU Pro Sports today. Before we resume play here in the opening half, Kylie Ohlmiller and Meg Dowdy.
Meg, what goes into making sure that the defense is on the same page coming into championship weekend especially?
I just think the biggest thing about team defense is just being on the same page. So communication, being organized. And right now I feel like we're in a groove as the gold team, and we're just trying to hustle, be aggressive, and push some fast breaks for sure.
Awesome. Go get the ball back on this last possession.
Let's go, thanks.
I just noticed Kylie is wearing Meg's team colors, in fact.
No, you did not. I was thinking the same thing.
I just noticed it.
Okay, wait, but you have on blue.
Well, but what does that mean? I didn't get the memo. You guys don't ever tell me what we're wearing. All defensive team, including the veteran Meg Dowdy. 2 vets, 2 rookies, all of them excellent. As Ohlmiller watches from the sideline, and O'Donnell sends one over top of the cage. Sammy Jo Tracy has the ball, 5.5 minutes with which to work in this opening half. O'Donnell to the interior, kick it outside Kinna. Sydney Black, great look inside there for Evans, who did not make the catch.
You know, right now, Team Marino just looks a little bit tight offensively. They're not flowing super well.
Cockrell here on the break, feed it, Geyer's back. Straightening up to make that stop is Marino. Marino comes rocketing out of the cage and gets help from Knowles on the ground ball. Look out. Pickpocket waiting. Apuzzo steals it. Gets another possession for her squad in the white.
This is what makes it so easy for her to move up the leaderboard. She can take draws. She can get leaderboard points there. She can score goals, assist, or do cause turnovers, which are almost as good as a goal. That's another change this year. It's 10 points. Previously was 12, but she just continues to rack things up.
Geyer's back on the roll dodge. Kuykendall outside the 8-meter key. Burrowing her way inside. Cockrell lets this one fly. That's too tall. Arsenal right there on the end line, though, to keep possession for Team Apuzzo with 17 seconds to shoot. Split dodge from right to left. Marino shut that down at the post, and Taylor will look to clear. Exiting her goal circle, Taylor Marino, 10 or more saves in a game some 26 times in her career. She spots Wakefield for the clear. Caroline on Marino's team 7 of the last 8 weeks.
You know, I like the pressure that Team Apuzzo is putting on Team Marino.
Peterson with a rocket that stings the corner.
You know, it looks like Team Marino's not letting it rattle them, but a lot of pressure applied. They had to really work the ball out of the defensive end, but once they got it over the half field, the restraining line, they were attacking immediately. Sydney Black to Katie O'Donnell, a streaking Peterson. I like how she's catching that ball. Her body is turned. She's protecting where that stick is, so that way Kaylee Waters can't see that shot.
And I like that shot too because it was just a quick release. I think too often Team Marino on offense is trying to get in tight or tuck through a bunch of defenders' sticks. So for Peterson to just let that one fly, that's a nice play.
Tallies in 7 of her last 8 games for Isabella Peterson, the former James Madison University star. Throughout the season, 4 weeks of Monday captains drafts, Peterson was selected number 5, 6, 11, and 10. The captains know that she can convert, shooting around 47% this summer. Casey Choma, a rookie out of Notre Dame, will clear this along. Final 3.5 to go in the opening half. Stay with us, a special feature on Taylor Marino coming up at the half. Mastriani on the split dodge. Ran out of real estate. Kuykendall, another big face dodge, double it up. Choma, fenced in by O'Donnell. Choma on her way, she scores!
As a defensive player, you never want to create offense for the opponent, especially an offense that has 1, 2, 3 U.S. team players. And we see defensively right here, feet are moving, but anytime you're gonna go and reach for a stick check, you're giving them a little lane. You're giving them a step on you, and that's exactly what Choma took advantage of.
By Choma kind of taking that step back for a second, almost a little bit of a hesitation as she was going downhill. She kind of stepped back, looked up as if she was kind of looking for a feed for a split second. That allowed her that extra lane, like you said, Courtney, to then dive back down.
Choma, who was another extraordinary goal scorer for Notre Dame throughout the regular season this past spring, she tallied 56 times. Team Apuzzo in the white gold uniform, getting another possession here, leading in the chase for these 20 quarter win points. They have a 2-1 advantage in the second. 5-2 overall. Apuzzo is the only multi-goal scorer to this point. Sam already with a 2 spot. Arsenal wading into this 6-on-6. Forced back by Knowles. Geyer's back, who favors her left. Flips to Mastriani. Kuykendall usually does the vast majority of her attacking from the left side as we look at the cage. Apuzzo's next. Sam turns on Wakefield, sent it wide of the goal, as this is going to be a shot clock violation against Team Apuzzo. That special feature on Marino comes up at the half. We'll also look back at a very exciting first game on the day. If you weren't with us earlier on ESPNU, in fact, it was Team North winning in a shootout. First of its kind this summer, only the 3rd time in 4 summers of AU Pro Lacrosse that we've ever done that beyond sudden victory overtime. Off the weave, this is Evans. A bouncer to score! Top shelf.
Erica always looking at the goal cage. You could almost see this developing and the nice little weave action. She turned the corner just about immediately. This was a bouncer well outside of that goalie's goal circle. So this is why it went incredibly high. It was almost like a changeup.
Now, I'm not sure she was expecting it to go there. She kind of turned around in her celebration, smiling a little bit. But we really like that release there because it's a changeup from what Kaylee Waters just saw on the last goal from Peterson, which was a low to high ripper from the sidearm. This time she sees a low to low, but high bounce.
Evans, off of her biggest Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse game back on Thursday, the 4+1, 4 goals and an assist, helped her to 99 leaderboard points. She made a pretty good move as Team Marino dropped that game to Team North 10-8. Lizzie Colson didn't come up with the scoop there. Apuzzo does, out of the pack. 65 seconds to go. Sam Apuzzo adding to her totals just about every way possible. She has the ball in her cross. Wakefield has that assignment today. Caroline's wearing a microphone for us. Mastriani on the go from the alley. She yanked that one high against the defense of Megan Kinna. Kinna wearing a blue jersey. She was in orange the first 3 weeks. Off the flip, Kuykendall split dodge. Time's a-wasting now with a half a minute to go. Nice catch. Arsenal, better saved. Marino flashing that goalie stick cross down low for her 5th save. Burns will exit. First team All-American in 2024. Maddie Burns played at Michigan. Peterson rumbling inside the 8-meter key. Pass that one to nobody in particular. Taking it back, Colson will stretch her legs. She's got the 4-on-3 fast break, but the pass to Kuykendall at the end of the quarter goes awry. We are through with 2. That second quarter is going to carry over as a result of a 2-2 score. On the leaderboard, the top 4 at the end of business tomorrow will be receiving medals. Katie Glynn in 4th, Allie Kennedy for the moment residing in third. Charlotte North, the shootout winner earlier today on the top spot. And Sam Apuzzo doing her best to gain ground and set a target for tomorrow's final day.
You know, Sam closing that gap on Charlotte North, Taylor Marino on Katie Glynn. I do expect at the end of this game, those two spots will be flipped.
Sam Apuzzo making time here for Kylie O'Miller.
Sam, very back and forth game right now. How do you make sure you guys take advantage of halftime and go into the second half with a fresh start?
I think just taking our defensive stops and executing on offense, keeping the momentum from D to offense is huge. Something that we need to continue to do as we go into the next half.
Go get a good break.
Yeah.
Sam Apuzzo will indeed catch her breath, as will we, with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse today on ESPN+. Get you back in time for the halftime action to unfold, beginning with a special feature on Taylor Marino. All is quiet for now, halfway home in this one between Team Marino and Team Apuzzo on ESPN. Both teams comfortably waiting for the action to heat up again. Taylor Marino is a very special netminder in lacrosse who happens to be a very good all-around athlete. Her skills even translated to the high school gridiron.
I grew up wanting to play football, and I always wanted to be a quarterback, but my parents were like, yeah, you're not doing that. We're not risking any injuries. Having the opportunity to be the kicker on my high school football team was really special because, I mean, even just being a female on a boys' high school football team, I didn't want to be treated any differently. I absolutely loved every second of it, and I really appreciate it, and I'm really grateful for overall the experience I had having to kind of learn a new skill, I think was something that translated to lacrosse in the fact that being a goalie, there's always different techniques and different types of ways that you can play the position. And I think always kind of evolving my craft as a goalkeeper and just having that level of patience has been something that's pretty comparable to the two.
A true student of the game in many different games. We are just getting started with our halftime report. On the other side of this TV timeout, we'll have a look back at the opening game on today's slate, the battle between Team Kennedy and Team North. In the shadow of the Yardley Love statue here at Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, USA Lacrosse headquarters. Season 4 of this AU Pro Lacrosse League winding to its conclusion. One more day tomorrow. We are at the half, 5-3 for Team Apuzzo over Team Marino. Looking back on our first game of the day, Courtney, Katie Glynn was terrific in this nail-biter.
Katie Glynn was an absolute brick wall. She was the spark defensively for her team. Whether the shot was coming from downtown or in tight, she was just locked in, and that was a save that she made when they were doing a shootout.
Allie Kennedy must have felt like she was part of a track team. She was running up and down the field.
You know, she does all of the little things as a midfielder, whether it's winning the ball at the draw circle or coming up with ground balls from the defensive end. And watch this IQ. Interception, knocking it down, and then she was off to the races.
Don't forget the performance turned in by Ellie Macera.
Ellie Macera, I like watching her on the field because she's such a quick dodger. It's tough for defense to match her speed. She's truly just one of those attackers, whether the ball is in her stick or out of it, she has a presence no matter what.
Thanks to that video accompaniment, we can take a look at the Game 1 MVPs brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. Katie Glynn with a plus 45 and all those win points that she picked up, and as a result, she's found herself right in position to be a top 4 medalist tomorrow.
You know, that pushed her right into the 4th slot Allie Kennedy, she's still battling it out in the third slot in terms of leaderboard points. And Ellie Massera, what a great rookie campaign that she has had.
She promises to be exciting to watch in the future with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. We'll continue at the half. Get you back for highlights of this one between Team Apuzzo and Team Marino. Two teams played a dead even second quarter. As a result, those quarter win points hop over to the third. The third will be worth 40. Team Apuzzo has the 5-3 lead over Team Marino at the halftime break. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. Court was a 5-time national champion at Maryland. Courtney, when you size up this game from the point of view of Team Marino, where do they need to change to get their offensive game back on track?
You know, I think the more possession that they have, the more comfortable and confident they'll feel. I like when they put Peterson at the draw. She's tall. She can combat with Mastriani, who also has a really long reach. And I think the more comfortable they become there, that'll translate into some offense.
We were chock full of highlights in the opening 20 minutes here in Sparks, Maryland at USA Lacrosse headquarters, beginning with the two-time reigning champion guarding the goal.
You know, anytime the ball is near that crease for Taylor Marino, her eyes are locked in. It could be in tight, it could be from a distance, it doesn't matter. But one of her players, Katie O'Donnell, she was taking matters into her own hands offensively, whether she was facilitating and feeding it off to Peterson or taking it in herself. You need someone leading the charge.
On the opposite side of the equation, Team Apuzzo has a lot of different goal getters.
This was just beautiful. It was defense into offense. What I like about how they're scoring is they're doing it in a lot of different ways. They're involving a lot of different players. Anytime you can get the defense maneuvering and shifting around, good things are going to happen offensively. But they got to try and keep the ball out of Sam Apuzzo's stick because she is deadly. Anytime you miscommunicate defensively, she will make you pay.
Sam Apuzzo gunning for her first ever gold medal. She and her mates on top by 2 where it matters most. Big advantage when it comes to shots in that opening 20.
You know, you have to shoot the ball in order to score goals. And the fact that there's a huge differential between shots being taken, that just shows the stingy defense of Sam Apuzzo that's affecting Team Marino right now. Again, they were playing a little bit tight throughout that first half.
20 minutes to go in regulation. Kylie Ohlmiller can eavesdrop here with Taylor Marino.
Taylor, tight one so far. What was the message at halftime to get things going for you guys?
Just to take care of the ball defensively. When we're settled, we're playing our best defense, so we're just trying to make sure we're taking advantage of that, and then just offensively taking care of the ball, trying to get ourselves a rhythm, and then overall just taking care of the ball on both ends.
And you're seeing the ball really well as well. What goes into your personal preparation there?
I have myself a chocolate protein shake and a Topo Chico, and I make sure that I'm seeing the ball, and that's about it.
I love that combo right there. Good luck.
Thanks.
Kylie, I didn't do any of that. Maybe that's why I didn't stop the ball as well as Taylor does. Taylor Marino, a 4-time All-American at North Carolina. Courtney, a growing number of NCAA women's lacrosse programs, well over 500 now at all the divisions, and all those lacrosse players, the collegiate ones, would love to be here in the AU Pro Lacrosse ranks.
You know, it's an elite group for sure, a group that has fun on and off the field. I love that they do activities as teams together, but also outside of the field. I think it's so very important. When you talk to Katie O'Donnell, she talks about her favorite memories over the last 4 years. They go on golf outings, throw a little hallway fetch in there, game of knockout, hide and seek. It's like summer camp.
O'Donnell, who was drafted 2nd overall back on Monday, the highest she's ever been selected. This long-range drive, a sizzler from Choma that soared over top of the cage as we just dip our toe now into the 3rd quarter. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor, Kylie Ohlmiller, your announce team, shouting out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew, both here and remotely, for all the outstanding work this summer. One more day, a Sunday to crown a champion tomorrow. 4 medalists in total. A defender of the year, a teammate of the year. We've already spelled out the defensive team as this one's pounded on the turf by O'Donnell and rejected by Waters. Kaylee will start the clear for Team Apuzzo in the white. Kuykendall operating against Burns.
You know, I like Team Marino. They're pushing the tempo. It's nothing different than what we saw in the first half, but their shot selection, just taking that extra little second. When you're shooting on a keeper like Kaylee Waters, you can't just throw the ball at the net.
Apuzzo forced that one. That's a turnover. Taken away by Emily Knowles. Knowles adds 10 to her leaderboard tally. She's been a really high point producing rookie. Wakefield going to goal, rumbling in there against Dowdy. Dowdy stacked her up, and we heard the whistle. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. We play 10-on-10. 4 10-minute quarters in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Peterson spots Sammy Joe Tracy. Sammy Joe wheeling and dealing from back behind the goal. Peterson once more turns in. Allie Mastriani was there to defend. Sammy Joe sent that one wide. Waters is going to win the race and earn possession for Team Apuzzo.
Excellent hustle by Kaylee Waters. It looks like the facilitator for Team Apuzzo was saying, I said, Choma, not timeout. Referees almost thought a timeout was being called. But Kaylee Waters with the run out, beating Isabella Peterson. Just seemed like she had a little bit more pep in her step. All-out hustle.
Catherine Conway is the facilitator for Team Apuzzo. The facilitator for Team Marino this week is Renee Dowd. Spillis hovering at the 8-meter key. Intercepting, it's Taylor Marino. 10 points for the cause turnover for the netminder, who's trying to get back in among the top 4 for medalist contention.
No, Joe, you can do everything individually and move yourself up the leaderboard, but you also have to come up with those quarter and overall win points as well, as many as you can, and this quarter's up for grabs.
3 minutes, 5 seconds into the 3rd frame. Timeout for Team Marino. We're back right after these words. fans have been terrific the past 4 weeks here at Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, the headquarters of USA Lacrosse. 5-3, still looking for the first tally in the third quarter with Team Apuzzo in charge. Courtney, we've been discussing it, how players' leaderboard tallies add up. These are the ways that they rack up points.
You know, statistically, you can do as well as possible. You're certainly going to gain leaderboard points there, but how you get the most bang for your money is quarter wins. 20 points for that, an overall team win, you get 45. And then when you do well statistically, individually, those on the field are going to recognize you. And if you get that, it's 45 points for first MVP, 30 for second, 15 for third. Those are important too.
And for example, when you think about the playing career of Sam Apuzzo, she's been able to accrue those points in so many different ways. As a result, she's a 3-time medalist. And when you break down her points from this summer, she moves on and climbs and trying to chase down her first ever gold. Bosco will clear. Uncontested across the midline. You talk about the MVP voting. Apuzzo, 31 times in her first 49 games, she's been a part of the MVP voting.
You know,
that all adds up.
It's amazing. Her team recognizes her ability. Sometimes it's just getting that final goal, but oftentimes...
Mastriani in 6th on the leaderboard. She'll rise. After that, BB finds the twine.
Oftentimes she puts up some major points throughout the game. Ali Mastriani, we talked about her early on, her ability to use her athleticism, her speed to create separation. She actually had her defender beat to her left-hand side, and then the defender overplayed her again, and then that allowed her to split back to her strong hand. Obviously, she feels comfortable going both directions.
I like this adjustment for Ali Mastriani on her shot placement, kind of putting it to the off-stick hip of Taylor Moreno. Instead of bringing it all the way up top, she's likely to see those ones, Taylor Moreno. So adjusting and putting it to a tough spot.
New Jersey native, former National High School Player of the Year. Bridgewater Raritan High School. Mastriani, who placed 9th last summer, is very much in the chase for the top 4 in this campaign. Drafted in the first round of 3 of the first 4 weeks. Mastriani is a vital cog in any of these rosters, which change week to week in Athletes Unlimited. 6-3, Apuzzo doubling up Marino. Evans going to the goal, had that one deflect in! Another tally for Erica Evans. This one, thanks to a friendly bounce.
Listen, a goal is a goal. And Erica Evans getting some help from the defense. I like the 2-player game between her and Peterson. Defensively, the ball just kind of ricocheted off of Ali Mastriani's stick. She was going to knock it down. Unfortunately, it then changed directions for Kaylee Waters, and you can see that change of direction of the path of the ball kind of mixed her up.
I like this 2-player game, like you said, Courtney, too. Isabella Peterson has been going really hard to the cage with her dodges. So for her to adjust and add another layer to her game here and pass it off once that double team came to her, that's next level.
Evans with back-to-back multi-goal games, striking 35 seconds after the Mastriani marker made it 6-3. Ali gets draw control, but then she shoveled it away from Choma. Help comes from Colson, and Arsenault will wheel through midfield with the rookie's help. Choma sprinting towards the 8-meter key. If you score from beyond there, 2 points for your team, 16 for yourself. Apuzzo this summer has 4 2-point goals. Just over 5 minutes with which to work in the third. Off the split, Mastriani for Kuykendall. She laced that one wide. Apuzzo brings it back in. Sets up to the interior. Kuykendall defended well, and Marino will vacate that goal circle and run for cover. The shovel for Burns, avoiding Arsenault. Back into a 6-on-6 for Team Marino in blue. It's a 2-point deficit. We're level in the third frame. This third frame is worth 40 due to the second quarter carryover. Megan Kinna from Western Canada. British Columbia. Evans from Ontario, Canada. O'Donnell spins and scores! Beautiful work for Katie O'Donnell.
Now Team Marino seems to be flowing on offense. They're connecting their passes. They all seem to be on the same page. Evans with the little flip. O'Donnell, as soon as she saw Choma overplaying that strong side, we're gonna take another little peek. We see her turning the corner, but that step, the reach by Choma, and the quick turn back, which was the only option available for O'Donnell, cleared that nice little path to goal.
That's a move right there that you don't often see when you see an offense kind of going through that weaving pattern, flipping and passing and overpassing each other like that in that weave. And I like that look for Katie O'Donnell because of that overplay, like you said, Courtney, from Casey Choma.
The daughter of John and Jen, Katie's mom, longtime official. Jen often says, you know, just go out there and have fun. Good things are going to happen. It's been a good summer for Katie O'Donnell. This is the closest that Team Marino's been in quite a while as Mastriani runs for cover. We hear the whistles blare out. Liz Brush, Erica Leslie, Ronnie Anton, Kim Kramer, your officials. Timeout has been taken. 4:06 remaining in this third. Folks, one more day to experience Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse in person right here in Sparks, Maryland. Tomorrow, Champions Day and Fan Appreciation Day. Listen up, featuring an Athletes Unlimited replica medal for the first 250 fans. Go to auprolacrosse.com and buy your tickets today. Courtney, I will take one in gold, please. Fans have been treated to great lacrosse over the last 4 weeks. 56 players are invited to Sparks, Maryland. They battle for position on this leaderboard. Ali Mastriani still trying to get in there among the top 4. Charlotte North was a winner earlier today. She and her gang needed a shootout to down Team Kennedy. Ali is positioned nicely in the number 3 spot.
You know, after this quarter, right now, Taylor Marino and her entire team in the blue jerseys, they have an opportunity to get 40 points. They're in the lead. Obviously, there's 4 minutes left. That's a lot of lacrosse to go. But that could mean a switch between the 4th and 5th spot. Or if Team Apuzzo is able to come up with another couple of goals, then we would see a potential shift for Apuzzo overtaking North and Mastriani getting closer to Marino. This is what makes it so exciting.
These two captains just stalwarts. I mean, Marino's been a captain 11 straight weeks. Apuzzo a record 12 straight weeks. And to see Taylor outside of the medal contention right now is a rarity. Bouncer sent wide of the goal by Geyersbach. Taken in off the end line by Apuzzo with 20 seconds to shoot. Sam Apuzzo all day, me and my shadow with Caroline Wakefield. Kuykendall off the turn, fires. Great save there by Marino. Just bunted that one over top of the crossbar. And then a foul.
This is going to be a yellow card issued to Sam Geyersbach as Cassidy Weeks came up with that ground ball, which was huge. Taylor Marino was trying to corral it within her crease, and Cassidy Weeks was able to come up with it. I like how she sprinted through the ball, right? It's not just poking at the ball, but running out with it. And then that swing is what caused Geyersbach to get Cassidy Weeks in the head, so she's going to be sitting out for just a tad.
Player up for Team Marino, a chance to tie the game or perhaps take the lead if they can bag a goal from outside that 8-meter key. Cassidy Weeks off a 2-goal performance Thursday. O'Donnell shares the rock with Sydney Black. Evans changing the formation. Peterson, the powerful lefty, skip it through. Black waits, trying to draw a walling call there. Sammy Jo Tracy for O'Donnell, good ball movement. Evans to the inside, picked off. Defender of the year, Abby Bosco, a summer ago, with the active cross on the interior. Black comes out of the pack, 10 seconds to shoot. O'Donnell, skip it on through. Weeks, one more. Peterson, shut down on the short side. Waters, cool as a cucumber. Her 5th save on the day.
That was great defense for Team Apuzo in the player down situation. They were moving so well, making it very difficult for Team Norino to find any open players, even coming up with the knockdown, but I wasn't really seeing a ton of cutting. Sometimes you just need a little bit more movement offensively.
Cockrell to Choma. Choma for Apuzo. Halfway through the 60-second shot clock. Arsenal measured on the outside by a fellow BC Eagle in Cassidy Weeks. Spillis runs for cover. Burns plays defense with determination. Apuzo into the alley, bumped off of any shooting lane by Wakefield. Twisted to Cockrell. Spillis gets cleaned out, and this is likely a free position shot.
Lacrosse is not for the weary. Even though we're a non-contact sport, it's a contact non-contact sport, I like to say. Tough foul on the body. This is what's gonna give an 8-meter free position to Spillis. She's gonna have a defensive player on either side. This is different in AU Pro Lacrosse. It's only from the top center mark.
Spillis, an assistant coach at Southern Cal, going to goal, scores! Cassidy Spillis.
Now, this doesn't just give a 2-goal lead to Team Apuzo, but they have tied things up. Spillis tying it up at 2-2 here in the third quarter. Third quarter, all the points from the second quarter have bumped. And we just look at the protection from Spillis. I think defensively, she is in the crease, and this is what Taylor Marino has asked to have another look at. As we take a look, her coming off of the line, her follow through, you cannot run through the crease. And it wasn't due to a push, she was just leaning forward with her momentum, headed into the crease. So very good call by the captain to ask for a challenge.
Blue team to check the goal circle.
They are going to challenge and review the goal circle. Facilitator for Team Marino is Renee Dowd, head coach at Bates College in Lewiston, Maine. Share another point of view on Spillis's route towards the goal and the aftermath as to whether or not she's inside the circle. Crashing down to the deck. As her teammates celebrate, you could see Knowles, the defender, instantly holding up a hand to the official and saying, look where she landed.
You know, again, as you take a look, it looks like her body going into Knowles's as opposed to Knowles actively reaching out into Spillis. So this is why I say no push. It was her momentum cruising forward, her going into that defensive player, and then falling into the crease.
Gives the athletes a chance to get some refreshment. On a mid-80s degree day, we've had temperatures in the mid and high 90s throughout this summer, which has been played out over 4 weeks with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse in season 4. Began back in 2021. It was Taylor Cummings who was the gold medalist that summer. That was a 15-game schedule. The past 3, including this one, 12 games on the docket.
Joe, we've also had some monsoon-type weathers.
No.
Torrential.
Bite your tongue.
Downpours. Not this weekend.
The officials concluding their review, going to take this goal away from Spillis. You can see the shake of the head reactions on the sideline for Team Apuzo. So a successful challenge and review as we listen in.
After review, no goal. The player was in the goal circle.
6-5.
Starting at the center.
Team Apuzzo over Team Marino. Taylor, the two-time reigning champion. As you can see, the list of those who have been #1 gold medalists.
I think the players said it in their media day, essentially. I think the name Taylor might have something to do with it. Any Taylor, I'm going to give that championship to.
How about O'Donnell? Loving the name Katie O'Donnell there for the most recent strike. Back-to-back goals for Katie in her 3rd on the day.
If you got a blue jersey on, you got to be feeling confident. Number one, anytime you win a challenge, that's kind of a little extra oomph. And then Katie O'Donnell coming right off of that pick. She didn't hesitate. She dodged through it. Or KO, as our KO on the sideline likes to say.
We both call each other KO, but it's kind of fun to watch her really just see that opening there. Great job by Isabella Peterson. She popped out initially to get the ball, but then realizing that Katie O'Donnell's defender and her defender were both stepping out. So the right play was actually to go get in the way of both of them and set that pick.
O'Donnell's 2nd hat trick of the summer. She had a 4-goal game against Taylor Marino in the opening week of the season. She's got a 3-spot to support her captain in this one with just over a minute to play in the 3rd. Specialists inside the circle. Draw control for Team Apuzzo for Lizzie Colson. Colson, who has such a great sense of anticipation for where that ball is going to be. Mastriani brings the ball ahead at the 8-meter key. Flips for Kuykendall. Walling call coming up. Kuykendall going to get set for a free position shot. We've seen her shoot it upwards of 80 miles an hour from this spot in the past this summer. She'll be whistle ready against Marino with under a minute to go in the 3rd. Kuykendall will not shoot this one, nor will Mastriani. Kuykendall off the head fake, 30 seconds to shoot, 45 in the quarter. Long range 2, deflected away by Marino. Kristen Carr comes up with the scoop. Cookie nowadays, the head coach at nearby Towson. I look at Cookie Carr's resume and I see the first time she was connected, Courtney, with the U.S. national team, 2008. That's one whale of a playing career when you think about how many years that's extended. Evans jogs back behind the goal. Looking to create now. That pass will get away. 6 seconds left. Weeks, 30 yards from the goal, feeds Sammy Joe. Little Twizzler flick to Black. She's not able to shoot it in time. The 3rd quarter comes to its end, and thanks to the O'Donnell hat trick marker, Team Marino gets the carryover of 40 points as a result. And that changes things, shuffles things up on the leaderboard, where Charlotte North still reigns supreme. Game 22 of 24. You see the leaderboard flip. Evans has once again been a factor. Team Marino and Team Apuzzo down the stretch for you in another tie game. Things have been busy this summer at the merchandise tent. We've played 3 quarters in Sparks, Maryland. Team Marino, all 14 players on the roster dressed in blue, just banked 40 points. The carryover from the second to the third, albeit a low-scoring game, 6-6. It's going to be interesting down the stretch. You can rep your favorite AU lacrosse athlete. The Athletes Unlimited Pro Shop has player t-shirt options available for the entire 2024 roster. Visit shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. As usual, the Wakefield family has been in attendance. They've been regulars through 4 summers at Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Caroline's dad, Mike, is always within earshot as it's time for us to go into the game with Caroline Wakefield.
What's up, Ma?
I love you.
Love you.
Get him. Don't poke check. Just play defense.
Yeah.
Sam. Don't poke check her.
I know, Taylor already was like,
Totally good.
yeah.
Don't poke check. You're playing great.
Thanks.
Let's go.
Will do.
Caroline Wakefield, daughter of Mike and Kelly. Dad played some football at James Madison. As Caroline strides back to the field, we have 10 minutes to go in regulation. The first game today required more than regulation. In fact, it went through a sudden victory 3-minute overtime period. It was settled in a shootout. Team North besting Team Kennedy. Charlotte, as a result of her team's success and her own, she's on the verge of 50 goals, believe it or not. North on the top rung of the leaderboard. What matters is being there tomorrow when the top 4 will receive medals. Just 1 gold medalist champion.
Joe, I said it at half. I really think that Team Marino, in order to make it more competitive at the draw, needs to really battle with Ali Mastriani. She is too long, lean, and is able to get that ball wherever she wants.
Weeks feeds. Peterson fires and scores. So you want Peterson there instead of Sammy Jo Tracy for one option.
I do, because at least she's making it more of a 50-50, or you can just rely on your defense like that to come up with a big-time play and let it translate into some offense. An excellent check. Caroline Wakefield with the cause turnover. Cassidy Weeks with the speed. And as they're bringing that ball down, you have numbers. You create offensively. Cassidy Weeks dishing it to Peterson, who on the run was, what is it, locked and loaded, Kylie? Your little quote at Stony Brook?
Catching it loaded, meaning she's using the catch as part of her wind-up to get that shot off quickly. And again, I think it's so smart of her to not try to get any closer to the cage and really just catch and release.
So when you think about that Spillis goal being overturned, the goal from free position in which she went through the goal circle in the estimation of the officials after review, it's a 4 unanswered point run for Team Marino in the last 6 minutes. They grabbed their first lead, and now they look for more.
Well, that was a huge swing and a great call by their captain, Taylor Marino, for seeing it. She was front and center. She was able to see Spillis through the crease. Credit to the referees for checking that out. But ultimately, instead of them being in the lead 7-5, now it's 7-6 Team Marino, because 2 unanswered goals since that point.
Weeks is marked by Mastriani, working a 2-player game here on the flip for O'Donnell, exchanging to Evans through that weave. Long range off the crossbar. That was Peterson, right-handed with a lot of muscle. She's a pure lefty.
You know, each of these players, while they may be one-hand dominant, the fact that they can go one direction or another is just amazing. So all the young fans out there, make sure that stick work is top of the list priority for you.
I guess you don't get 75 goals in your final season as a collegiate without being able to use both hands. Sammy Jo Tracy, pressured by Meg Dowdy, member of the all-defense team in 2024 with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Shot clock's at 25. We've just ticked under 8 minutes left in regulation. Black held in check for the most part today. On the exchange to Sammy Jo Tracy. Move it quickly for Weeks. Cassidy Weeks down under, and a kneeling save provided by Kaylee Waters. Up to 7 on the day for 43 in white. Colson will bring it casually ahead for Arsenal and Choma. Casey shares it with Dempsey. 7-6 for Team Marino in the blue. They play the opener tomorrow against Team Kennedy. Team Apuzzo in the white. Game 24, they'll face off against Team North with a lot on the line. Spillis directing traffic. Arsenal finds Apuzzo. Here comes the early double. Kuykendall draws the Walling call. We've seen Kuykendall choose to pass out of this formation time after time. Does she pull the trigger here? Just 6 seconds on the shot clock. Might factor into her thinking. Winding up against Marino. Lets it go, and she sailed that one wide of the target. Taylor Marino backed up by Kat Buchanan for the 4th straight week as her understudy. Madison Doucette sits second chair to Kaylee Waters in goal. Apuzzo this way, Kuykendall. Worked over there by Burns. Carr peeks out on Geyer's back. Off this roll dodge, the early double comes. Kuykendall's pass to an unsuspecting Apuzzo. She's got it with still plenty of time to shoot and more than 6 minutes to go in the game. Split dodge from right to left. Marino gets that, trying to track it down in the goal circle. She'll clamp down on it. Back on Thursday, Courtney, Team Marino was 18 for 18 in the clearing game. Perfect. No slip-ups so far today.
That might have almost been a jinx, but Erica Evans using her body, very smart. Anytime you put your body behind the ball, just like a goalkeeper.
Great comeback effort for Team Marino in blue. Sam Apuzzo's team has run dry on the scoreboard for the last 10 minutes. Evans spots Peterson, rolling in against Colson. She scores! Isabella Peterson with a beauty for the hat trick.
This was absolutely beautiful. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. As they were getting the matchup that they wanted, once it got into Peterson's stick, you're gonna see her out-muscle Lizzie Colson. As she turns the corner, immediately putting it back in her strong hand, that protection, one cradle, power shot, all on the run, and Lizzie Colson left in the wake.
The fact that she was on that opposite side of the 8 there, I think that confused Lizzie Colson a bit, remembering that the strong hand of Isabella Peterson is actually her left. You saw Lizzie Colson there kind of stepping up to the middle, which actually allowed her to get to her strong-handed left easier.
Bottom of the screen showing you that 5-point unanswered run in 5.5 minutes for Team Marino. Kylie Oldmiller is our field reporter. She's been giving us a great sense for how the game looks and sounds throughout this summer of 2024. She's missing AU Pro Lacrosse this summer due to injury. Joe and Courtney upstairs. We've got 5 minutes left in game 22. Just 2 more to come before we hand out the medals tomorrow afternoon. Spillis in control. Geyer's back. Will exchange with Mastriani. Time for Team Apuzzo in the white gold uniforms to get rolling here. Kuykendall powering in against Cookie Carr. Didn't get her hands free. Arsenault on the hop. Feed it here on the outside. Mastriani yanked that one high. Team Marino's defense, Wakefield, Burns, Knowles, and Carr throughout the day. Geyer's back, fidgets inside, sent that one wide. Kuykendall there with 14 seconds to shoot. 4:15 left in regulation. Another tight game here in Sparks. Apuzzo on the dead run, fires. A good bouncer, but a better stop there from Marino. She took that one off of her left hand. Sends it out for Megan Kinna. Now we will see the game clock management from Team Marino in blue. Sammy Jo Tracy sticks a foot in the ground against Meg Dowdy. Colson peeks out on the hot hand lately, Isabella Peterson. The hometown hero looking for another one. Snagged by Waters, quick outlet for Lizzie Colson in transition. This is a 4-on-3 fast break. Kuykendall slows the tempo. 3:20 left. Gonna get a green card here perhaps. An offside call coming up. And a player up situation for Team Apuzzo, which needs all the points it can muster. And from deep, they score to tie it. Kuykendall catching Team Marino napping and tying the score at 8.
Heads up play with the ball in her stick. This is a 2-pointer, so this ties the game. I wasn't ready. I know Team Marino wasn't, but it's a matter of the referees say that things are ready to go.
Great presence of mind from the rookie Kuykendall. She was hovering outside the 8-meter key. The official about to give her the restart. And while Team Marino was daydreaming, Kuykendall converts. And now we are 8-8 late in the fourth. You don't want to move now on ESPN. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is fueled by Gatorade. Erin Kuykendall's recent 2-pointer ending a 13-minute scoring drought for Team Apuzzo, bringing the count level at 8 apiece. Folks, listen for the whistle that gives Kuykendall the green light to shoot.
mean, you hear the whistle right before Kuykendall decides to shoot. Captain Sam Apuzzo was tapping sticks. It was almost like it was a secret play that everybody was maybe in on, except Team Marino, who obviously was not ready. Normally those take a while to set up. I was caught off guard.
Taylor Marino told us the late Bob DeSimone enticed her into playing goalie. Marino, who is such a standout at that position, not between her pipes there when Kuykendall tied the game up. This is the same Taylor Marino who's the reigning two-time Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse champion. Will crown a new one again tomorrow, and it could very well be Taylor if she and her mates can get up off the mat and rally. Charlotte North has the lead at the moment on the top of the leaderboard. Intercepting takeaway Weeks. 8-8 game. Earlier today we played through regulation, through sudden victory, overtime, had a game end up in a shootout. We are headed for another dramatic conclusion in this one.
You know, an excellent ride. Cassidy Weeks intercepting this ball. And then we see a check from behind right onto the head. Dempsey Arsenal, she is going to be out with the yellow card, but credit Cassidy Weeks. You can see a little bit of extra energy for the team in blue. Taylor Marino, I'm sure that entire team feels like they were robbed and not being set up on that last one, and you can tell with their play, they have a little bit of fire.
Player up now, 6-on-5 in the blue. O'Donnell shares it with Sammy Joe Tracy. Weeks from the angle, Peterson lurking behind the goal. Isabella skipping on through. O'Donnell, keep it hot for Weeks, the two-time national champion. That pass gets away from O'Donnell, backed up by Black. Sydney has it, 30 seconds to shoot. Erica Evans, feet inside, another collision, and out of the pack, Choma comes up with a ground ball. Waters is there as an outlet. Kaylee's feed through midfield gets away from Colson, and on the sideline, the officials say Team Apuzzo ball. Geyer's back, makes a beeline towards the cage. Her team still one player short. Arsenault. That penalty time expires. We're back to a level playing field here with 1:43 remaining. Deadlocked at 8. The fourth quarter for the moment, led by Team Marino 2-1. Sidewinder sails wide of the cage. Bringing it back in quickly. Kuykendall looking for the inside roll. No ground afforded her by Kristen Carr. Mastriani has room to operate. Folds it over but sent it wide. Geyer's back is there. This is a shot clock violation against Team Apuzzo. 2-2 in the quarter. The 2 goals for Peterson and the 2-point tally from Kuykendall. It's a level fourth frame.
I'm not going to say it yet, but we could be seeing another overtime today, Joe.
You just did. That's perfectly fine. The players can't hear you. There's no such thing.
Kylie, don't say a word on the field.
No such thing as a jinx.
As we don't see another shootout, those make me nervous.
Look at you. You both went for it. Wow. Timeout is called on the field with 44.6 to go. It never fails. As the season goes along, you get closer and closer towards game 24. We're in 22 right now. All the games seem to be that much tighter with so much on the line.
So much on the line. The teams that these captains put together, Charlotte North, Sam Apuzzo, Allie Kennedy, Taylor Marino, we see them all in the top 4 slots yet again here on the leaderboard. They put together teams that they know work well within themselves and each other, and that can battle one another. That's why I think we're seeing so many tight games as things have gone on here in week 4, because the level of the field is even at this point.
2 rookies among the top 10 in Knowles and Macera. 8-8 today with just 44.6 to go in the fourth. Tomorrow's doubleheader shaping up like this on ESPN2 and ESPNU.
Team Kennedy versus Team Marino. 2 best friends, life partners. That's going to be a great one to watch. Very competitive. and then North Apuzo right now, #1 and #2 in terms of the leaderboard. That one is always the top game to watch. And once we announce those medal winners, are we going to have another less than 20-point difference like we've seen the last 2 years?
Courtney, let's check with Kylie, see what she's expecting to see run here offensively.
So far, I'm expecting the ball to end in Isabella Peterson's stick. It might start there. There might be some sort of two-player game on the left side, but that would be my assumption, is to see #7 in blue.
Final 35 seconds, looking for the late game leading marker. Evans has it. Erica Evans going to the goal. Gets inside, lost it. They swarm. Evans comes back up with it. Feeds there for Weeks. Off the outside of the post. 20 seconds to go. Another scramble for the ground ball. Down to 15 left in regulation. Officials letting them play. 10 seconds to go. Out of the pack, it pops loose. Waters sprints there to keep it alive. 3 seconds left, and for the second time today, we're going to OT. Once again, with a deadlocked fourth quarter, the carryover means that whomever wins in either the overtime or the shootout would pocket 65 points on their leaderboard total. That quirky two-pointer from Erin Kuykendall on a quick restart. Once again, folks, when we roll the replay for you, listen for the whistle. That sent Kuykendall on her way. Erin Kuykendall paying attention while members of Team Marino were not well enough. And Erin Kuykendall is visiting with Kylie Ohlmiller.
The last one you just strike down was a big one. Tie the game up, going to overtime. What did you see on that play?
Yeah, I kind of saw the refs like talking to each other, like, are we ready? And so I picked up the ball and I saw that they were kind of huddling, still talking, and they blew the whistle. And I wasn't really expecting it, but I had heard them talking, so I just shot it, and I knew it would be 2.
It was a 2? way to pay attention there.
The next goal on the board today will win it if it comes in the 3-minute sudden victory overtime. Just a reminder, tomorrow, Champions Day, Fan Appreciation Day. First 250 fans through the turnstiles receiving an AU replica medal. These athletes fighting for the real thing as we look at the overtime rules.
You know, there was just a quick 1-minute break between the regulation and overtime. Overtime consists of 1 3-minute sudden victory period. Each team gets 1 timeout. The game does remain tied after this overtime period. A shootout will take place after another minute break, but we won't go there yet. I can't believe I even said overtime, and Kylie said the shootout word, so you never know.
Mastriani and Peterson will meet inside the draw circle. Those two, the centers, trying to get draw control. Team Apuzo, a winner in overtime back on Thursday. Sam Apuzo, their captain, provided the winning strike. It was her 5th goal on the day. 3 minutes up on the board. First goal wins it. Draw possession to Peterson. Attacked there by Mastriani. Team Marino in blue gets possession. Shadows growing longer on a beautiful day for lacrosse. Very low humidity by Mid-Atlantic region standards. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Sammy Jo Tracy wants to turn up the heat. She'll get the first touch, 6-on-6. Looking for the game-winning strike. 10th overtime game all time in 4 summers of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Black on the go. 5th one involving a team with Apuzo. Sam is 3-1 in OT in her career. Tracy, hide and seek, feed it in there, great save. Waters, dynamite in the overtime's first minutes. She's got 8 saves on the day, none bigger than that one, and 43 is fired up, coming back to the huddle.
A huge save by number 43 in white. Kaylee Waters, you could hear Isabella Peterson calling for this ball when she realized both defenders went with Katie O'Donnell. Point blank, coming up with it huge. Sammy Jo Tracy with the patience feeding that off, and then you got Bosco coming with the ground ball, getting possession for her team, and a good timeout. Get the clear down, get it safely out. The only problem with calling a timeout that early is it gives the defense a chance to set up a ride.
And the energy came from Kaylee Waters. Before overtime started, she was the one in the huddle for Team Apuzzo, really hyping up the team. The team was almost surprised by how much energy she was bringing in the huddle, so she was ready for that one.
Kaylee once told us, you know, don't sweat the small stuff, but do celebrate the little things. There was nothing little about that save. It was ginormous in OT, and when you think about one player in particular, Sam Apuzzo's chase for a medal, you think about the late game tying goal on Thursday and that save just a few moments ago, positioning Team Apuzzo and Captain Sam in a great spot.
Oh, absolutely. They maybe could have read Lizzie Colson's Celebrating the Small Wins book.
Yes, an author. Time to clear for Dempsey Arsenal. We've played 1 minute of the overtime. Charlotte North's team earlier today victorious in a shootout. Kenzie Kent provided the only goal in that shootout, stumbling her way to do it, in fact. Turned out just fine. Kuykendall looks for help, gets it from Apuzzo. 30 seconds left on the shot clock. 1:38 in the game. Does Apuzzo have it again in her cross to win it? She did Thursday. Backs away from the key. Slips it on through Kuykendall. Up top, Mastriani on the go. Elects not to shoot. Apuzzo takes it back, shot clock's at 7. Off the split dodge, fires and scores! It's a repeat performance. Sam Apuzzo, a winner.
There was just 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and you could see history essentially writing itself again. Sam Apuzzo with the game winner over Team Kennedy on Thursday, and again today here on Saturday night over Team Marino. There is no question that Sam Apuzzo, this fourth quarter, again, carryover points. So she is going to get some major quarter point wins, as well as that overall win, and maybe some elusive MVP points as well.
Oh yeah, big smiles for the photo op as you see the leaderboard up to the moment. Once again, Sam vaults into the top spot, bumping Charlotte down. Allie Kennedy remains positioned in third. Taylor Marino leapfrogging Katie Glynn, just as Katie did to her about a couple hours ago. Hands on hips, another disappointing decision for Team Marino. They lost 10-8 to Team North back on Thursday. They fall again, and number 2 is standing by with Kylie O'Miller.
Okay, that wasn't an easy one. Can you talk me through that?
I mean, Taylor has an incredible team. They put up a fight in the entire game. I think we just battled through time after time. To be able to get that 2-pointer with Erin was like total game changer for us. Was able to kind of even out the score and put us up top.
And every time I talk to you, you're out of breath. You're all out there. Is that how much it means to you?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to leave on the field, right? It's the last weekend, last 2 games of the season. I don't want to leave anything in the tank.
I love it. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Brilliant performer with a flair for the dramatic. Apuzzo, back-to-back OT winners for her squad. This one 148 into the extra session. Folks, Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, it continues tomorrow, 2 Eastern. Team Kennedy squaring off with Team Marino on ESPN2. Then Team North and Team Apuzzo, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. You can check out where to watch all those games on auprolacrosse.com. For Courtney, for Kylie, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks so much for watching this one. Apuzzo does it again.